This is a special edition of WeatherScope with an update on the latest storm affecting the Northeast.
Hey, good afternoon. You're watching the Weather Channel. Bill Keneally with you, and we're waiting for the fat lady to sing, but not only is she not singing, she's got some serious laryngitis today. So winter hangs on for a while back over the eastern states. Boston starting to cloud over. They are playing ball at Fenway. Snowing now in New York. Rain and snow mixed. They've got the gamut in Philadelphia. We have pictures shot earlier today west of Philadelphia and north of the Baltimore area. Snow fell, York, PA. These are originals from Jim Cantore, I might add. Snowmen Cantore style. Upwards of 4 inches of snow fell in the area, and travel was a little difficult on I-83, but even worse on the back roads. As you can see, some cars did indeed spin out, and we suspect now there is some accumulating snow northwest of Philadelphia, roughly between Coatesville and the Doylestown area. So heading north of town or west of town, use caution. Let's show you the weather map, see what's going on here. Low pressure starting to organize back over the Virginia Capes, just off Virginia Beach. There's another player, big upper low, back over west central PA. And once this upper low starts to translate itself towards the east, everything is going to be more or less stacked up, and at that time I suspect there's going to be some very, very strong intensification with that low pressure area, as it'll start to feast off of these Gulf Stream waters, which are pretty much back in this area here. For now, though, everything is sort of disjoint. There's your upper low dropping down across the Ohio Valley. Surface low starting to form around the mouth of Chesapeake, and eventually these will couple, and as they do, they'll bring the swath of snow up into Boston. Now, yesterday we had thought the track might be something like this. Today we're thinking the track may be more or less like this, and because of that, enough warm air may entrain near the center to bring possibly a changeover from all snow to mixed rain and snow to Boston late tonight, and maybe some plain old rain for the Cape. So this area might be spared, the Cape down to about, Suffolk County on the island. But already we're seeing a pretty good mix beneath that cloud deck over New Jersey and on the Delmarva Peninsula. Mixed rain and snow as far south as Salisbury and Maryland. Leading edge of our snow coming up now towards the islands, not far from Martha's Vineyard, and now crossing Long Island Sound, getting up around the New Haven area. Pockets of light snow developing along 287 now, heading up towards the Tappan Zee Bridge. This system is starting to show signs now of lifting more towards the north, so I suspect most of North Jersey and the Rockland and Westchester County areas in the city will start getting some snow before too long. Note also how these snow echoes, if you will, are moving off towards the west. That just tells us everything is kind of dumbbelling around, and this little lobe of energy coming down across Washington and Baltimore, starting to put some rain and snow down across the area. And if it hangs on long enough, sunsets in this whole area roughly around 7:30 tonight. And if this precipitation hangs on beyond that time, we could have some problems on some of the back roads west of Baltimore and around Wilmington, and especially in the Philadelphia area, where right now downtown it is 36 and raining, but up at the North Philadelphia Airport it is now 35 and still snowing at this hour. The radar again showing that snowfall getting up into the Hudson Valley. There's that big upper low back over the Ohio Valley area, the center of low pressure back over west central PA. And our rule of thumb tells us as that upper low comes across, and it looks like it should right about over New York, that could be the area, the swath of pretty heavy snow. For the city itself, you may see as much as 3, maybe 4 inches overnight tonight. It looks like it's going to be a protracted event, may linger well into the rush hour on Wednesday morning. This afternoon's rush hour, the big concern in Philadelphia and New York, should be the reduced visibility, as I don't think there's going to be too much accumulation on the major arteries. Watch the snow pile up tonight in North Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley, and the Berkshires of western Mass, and also northwestern Connecticut. This area could get hit pretty hard. By the way, the Weather Channel has a crew in the immediate Boston area. Jeff Morrow will be reporting back to us as early as 5 o'clock this evening. 39 starting to cloud over in Boston. They're playing ball today at Fenway. It's chilly. 37 snowing at Yankee Stadium in New York. And they're going to try to play some ball tonight with that rain and snow mixed down into Baltimore out at Camden Yards. We wish them luck. Good news out west. Terrific pattern shaping up. Look at that, 84 already in Midland, 77 degrees in Salt Lake City already. That's a record, 76 in Billings, Montana. Big area of high pressure will be trucking on east, and as it does, it's going to bring some great news later on this week. A lot of big venues going on this week, including checking out the Blossoms in Washington, D.C., and also heading down to Augusta National for the Masters Golf Tournament. Right now, things are looking good Thursday, Friday, on into Saturday. Now to check on the forecast for the rest of the nation for the weekend, here's Rich.
Thank you very much, Bill. I will have a look at that. Just like to mention before we talk about Florida radar,
a special edition of WeatherScope with an update on the latest storm affecting the Northeast.
Hey, good afternoon. We've been here before. Bill Keneally with you at the Forecast Center Update Desk. We're watching a winter-like storm. Here we are 3 full weeks into springtime 96, and yes, snows are flying in New York. Snows are getting heavier by the minute in the Philadelphia area. Picture shot earlier today out in Philadelphia, out around the York region. That's on Interstate 83. As you saw there a moment ago, not too many problems on the major arteries, but on the back roads, some problems. The snow did stick to just about anything except the pavement, but there were some spin-outs on the highway. So if you are out there north and west of Philly, we suspect out by Coatesville over to about Doylestown, that line, there's probably some problems on the highways as snows are accumulating at a pretty fast rate of speed. Let's show you first of all the satellite picture, see what's going on here. Tells quite a story. We have a big broad upper low now over western PA. Surface low is starting to form right down here around the Virginia Capes area. And already we're getting some cooler cloud tops right over across central PA. That's that upper low. And as these kind of couple together, they're going to get more or less vertically stacked on top of one another. And because of that, we are going to see a very intense low pressure area feasting off of these Gulf Stream waters, which, by the way, are not too far offshore, pretty much out in this fashion. That's where the Gulf Stream is. And that's yesterday's track of low pressure. Today's track, by the way, appears to be decidedly closer to the coast. If you think of Cape Cod as the head pin, it looks like the New York City area is going to be on the Brooklyn side, if you will. There's going to be some pretty good snow falling in that area today into tonight. And by the way, the good news right now, sunset's pretty late across the region from Boston down to Washington. Sunset roughly around 7:30. It is going to be after that time where the major problems are going to be developing on the highways. There's your low taking shape. Do want to mention that upper low one more time. Beneath it, some heavy snows, upwards of 3 to 7 inches in some of the mountains in central PA, and some very difficult travel in the Susquehanna Valley today in and around the Harrisburg area on up to about Lewisburg, PA. Snows are on the move now. That arc of snow is crossing over Martha's Vineyard, much of Long Island Sound. Tom Moore tells me now snows are falling in New Haven and Bridgeport, and that snow is getting north of the Tappan Zee, so it's getting up into Westchester and Rockland County at this hour. And again, that snow is heading north of Interstate 80. The big concern today for the New York City, Philadelphia area will be the cut visibility. Don't think there's going to be too many major problems on the roadway before this evening. There could be some slush. If you're on the back roads, please use caution. The big concern right now is this. We see these radar echoes tracking off to the southwest in Pennsylvania. There's a big lobe of energy wrapping all the way down to Washington, D.C. And even down here, we've had some mixed rain and snow. And things are not making a whole lot of progress on to the east. So as we get past the nighttime hours in Baltimore and Washington, some of the outlying areas, say in Montgomery County up around Gaithersburg, and north and west of Baltimore, Taneytown and Reisterstown, watch out. We may see some snow. Philadelphia, things have turned over to all snow. Visibilities are dropping very, very fast. In Philadelphia, Camden up to about New Brunswick. And once again, there's going to be some difficult travel as far as visibility. Then watch tonight for the accumulating snows. Looks like this area up into Fairfield County, Connecticut, much of North Jersey, suburban areas into Philly. This area is going to see some pretty good snowfall. I would guess something on the order of maybe 3 to 7 inches expected overnight. Then eventually the snows will pick up into Hartford, where actually it's been a pretty good day. Hartford last hour checked in at 46. They're playing baseball today in Boston. They were at last check in New York, and they're going to try to play ball tonight in Baltimore. We wish them luck in all 3 of these cases. You can see that upper low is still back here over western PA. That low is slowly tracking east. And once again, that's going to really invigorate the surface low developing down here. And as it does start churning up the coast, it's going to fling some moisture back in. Maybe enough of east wind to cause some rain to mix in with that snow at times in Boston. Heavier snows, western Mass down in North Jersey. Somebody here could see as much as 6 to 12 inches. Those northwestern hills in Connecticut, watch out. This area could see as much as a foot of snow by mid-afternoon tomorrow. 39 clouding over in Boston, snowing in New York, 36. Now snowing heavily in the Philadelphia area, 35. And a mixed bag in Washington, D.C. The good news, farther out we have some terrifically warm air. 72 in Denver, 85 in Midland. That's a big dome of high pressure. That's going to be trucking on east. And as it does, it's going to bring some delightful air back over into the D.C. area, into New York as well. Hard to believe, but it may be 70 in New York by about Friday. Now for more on the forecast, let's turn it back to the studio.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Here's our Florida radar. Then we'll have a look at our latest forecast. Fritz just a little bit. Notice how the colors of the ocean are in the reds, and we actually have some very interesting psychedelic colors. There it is again. So let's just pay attention to what we have across the interior. Hopefully we'll get past this pretty quickly. There we go. Green is for rain, and we see some rain, but also green is for snow, and certainly snow up across Long Island and snowing across New Jersey, occasionally mixing with rain in southern New Jersey. That rain-snow mix for D.C. right up to Baltimore, some light snow across Ohio, and into West Virginia, some occasional moderate to heavy bursts. Look at this heavier band developing here. Over the next day, we are expecting some heavier snows into later this afternoon and into tonight to start developing across southern New England. That's where we should see the most snow from this low pressure area. We'll show you some fantastic satellite pictures coming up next.
I have always aspired.
Around New Haven and Bridgeport, the snow now coming in as our low pressure area begins to intensify and the moisture is being tossed to the north. Now snowing around Philadelphia and Baltimore, Washington. Well, close, but not quite. Let's show you what I mean. Our satellite picture showing where our storm is. It's off the Maryland, Virginia coast, right in through here with this circulation. Now we have this massive dry slot with it. You can see exactly where it is right through this area here with plenty of moisture wrapping in behind it. That is what's coming in, and we are really looking at the moisture increasing up through southern New England. Quite likely to see a 4 to 8 inch snow with this storm here. Still some leftovers of light rain across Tidewater, Virginia. Head up to Fort Belvoir and up to Andrews Air Force Base and Baltimore, Washington. That mixture of rain and snow also out to Salisbury and Dover to Wilmington. Up to Philadelphia and the Amish country. We are all looking at snow at the present time. Latest radar showing that streak of snow rather heavy off of Long Island. And which way is that moving? Well, it's pivoting around our low pressure center, so it's sort of backing up to the northwest. That should gradually make its way across Long Island, snowing across much of New Jersey. Southern New Jersey, though, maybe still a little bit of that mix of rain and snow. Okay, let's look and see how much that we're still expecting with our forecast. Still 1 to 3 inch, snowing rather heavily at times around Beckley and right on back into Charleston, some occasional heavy snow. Best chance of the heaviest of the snow, though, will be in southern New England. Forecast, we'll head right into that, looking at Wednesday morning. Snow up and through New England, snowing around Boston, over to Providence, and all the way back to New York City. Gradually tapering off, but it may snow most of the day around Boston, all over Maine tomorrow. So still the winter drags on, even though we're still some rain to deal with through Baltimore and D.C. Let's show you the latest radar. And here's our New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington radar. And this is snow. It's snowing all across Long Island. Now into southern Connecticut it's snowing around White Plains. Most New Jersey snowing at Philadelphia. We have the rain-snow mix in Delaware and into central Maryland and northern Virginia. Then rain showers across southern Virginia. Let's show you that on our snowy travel, and you can see where that's mostly going to be through the mid-Atlantic. Snow back to Ohio and West Virginia. Rain, well, even some more of that coming up into the northwest. Speaking about coming up, we have a warming trend. How warm is it going to be? Well, we'll tell you after we have another look at our storm.